Hello. So we are in chapter 12 this week, and part of chapter 12 there's a good segment about projections. What's going to be happening in the future, or what do some of the experts think will be happening in the future? Not all of these are going to come true exactly the way that they were viewing them, but this is one way that you can help inform yourself to plan ahead. So some of these projections you kind of see across the board for any business. You know, we have demographics, the economics, the social part. All of these kind of hit everyone. You know, demographics. Who is our biggest population right now in the United States? The baby boomers. And so they have a lot of influence on what's going on in recreation. Also because they have the wealth. It's just part of it. What's going to be going on with Generation X and millennials? So looking at those. Just in general, as people are getting older now, here in the United States, people are going to live longer. They're going to try to live healthier. They're going to try to live more active. You're not going to have the idea of, oh, you retire and then you go play bingo the rest of your life. That's just not how it's going to go. Baby boomers really don't want to do that. So kind of maybe plan ahead. Also, demographics, it's not only here in the United States, but it's around the world. So what is happening around the world? You know, by 2050, this is going to really influence what's going to happen in the United States. So what country will be most populated by then? India. How is that going to influence, you know, immigration? You know, by 2050, they say that the United States, the majority of the population will be Asian Americans. So India, China, Korea's, Japan, all of them. There's going to be a huge flood going other places because their resources may start dwindling. They're going to start migrating other places. And so here in the United States, you know, Asian Americans are a big part of it. Hispanic Americans are a big part of it, and both of them are rising. But the Asian Americans will probably be the biggest segment by 2050. So maybe plan a little bit farther ahead, maybe learn some language skills, understand some of the cultural influences for these groups, because that might help you be able to program for them a little bit better. Economics, who owns the wealth, what's going to be going on, how are mergers part of it. You know, in the last few years, we had two huge recreation retailers merge. Well, actually, one got bought out. And so we had Cabela's and Bass Pro. Bass Pro Shop bought out Cabela's. What will that do? They're still kind of struggling of how they're going to manage all that, since both of them have a pretty big presence in the physical shopping world, but also in the online shopping world. And we're going to see a lot more of that consolidation of wealth and even just recreation in general. What's going to happen with resorts and how they're dealing with it? You know, for ski resorts, or let's back up, mountain resorts, as we talked about in another video, there's really only about 3 companies that are running everything. You know, you have all these mountains that are operated by certain corporations. So very interesting for those. Workplaces, you know, as the baby boomers are getting more towards retirement, they really don't want to retire, but as they are getting older, they will be. Our workforce is shrinking because Generation X and millennials, there's just fewer of us. So that's part of the things that I want you to know. What's going to be happening because you're having dual incomes in a household. You know, that's going to influence how people take off, because it's hard to have people get their schedules to fit to where, oh, I'd be able to take a week off, 2 weeks off at the same time as their significant other. And so that influences things. social projections, some really interesting things in there. But let's spend a little more time on the activity projections. These are probably what you are more concerned about, given that this is a recreation course. So what is going up? So things that are going up: the arts, health-related activities. Those are definitely going up. Swimming, beaches, our nature and historical sites, they're definitely going up. So maybe have something to kind of accommodate some of that. Outdoor recreation, that is going up. And I really want to stress upon outdoor recreation, not sportsman's recreation. So our hiking, backpacking, cycling, even those swimming activities, like paddling activities, those are going up. Okay, so outdoor recreation on the rise. Also with it, gardening, golf, and theme parks. All of those are on the rise. Now, what's going down? Some of these are not going to be shockers. Video rental, definitely going down. You don't go to a store to get a VHS or a DVD anymore. There's very few shops left for that because media is distributed from a different perspective. Also, arcades. How are people doing their games? It's not going to arcade now like they used to. They have the home systems or computers that are going to be the major player for those. Bowling is going down. Our tennis and racket sports, those are going down. RV camping. This is an interesting one because, RV sales have been going up, but who are they selling to? Baby boomers. And so the projection is RV camping will be going down because our Generation X and millennials are not buying RVs. Their idea of getting out there is different. And so this is where we're going to see that decline. With it, this is something that a lot of people that we've had in classes have had a problem with. The projection that fishing and hunting are going down. Sportsman's rec is going down. It's been going down for the last 20 years, quite a bit. And so why is that? Well, we had hunting and fishing that was more of a necessity for a long time, and then the urbanization, people moved to cities and they didn't need to go hunting and fishing. They could just go to the grocery store. That kind of played a big influence on it. But people really don't have access to areas where they can do this easily. And then when we look at it, those who were taught at a younger age, the baby boomers, they're doing that. But these skills are not being passed down to their kids and grandkids as much. So interesting enough that, in the last 20 years, sales have gone up, but they're selling to a certain target market, target population. And they're trying to make as much money as they can right now because the future generations are not going to be a part of it. So it's projected that it's going down. Sales are a little bit up, but participation is down. Fewer and fewer people are hunting and fishing. Now, that's what they're looking at nationally. Does that have anything to do here on the more local side of things here in the state of Arkansas? Maybe do a little research on that. Find out. I know that in Oklahoma, it was shown that people are less and less doing that because skills aren't there, the interest isn't there. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have a hunting and fishing company. You just need to know how to get that target population and market to them. That's going to be really important. So that's going down. And it has a lot of other interesting projections in there on our tourism. Big things that are going on are vacation ownerships, being timeshares and blue green and things like that. Those are going up quite a bit. Also gaming, going to casinos and entertainment centers. Those are on the rise. So look at this. Who's doing the activities? Who will be doing the activities in the future? How can you really target to be successful as an entrepreneur. So read through these, see what you agree with, what you don't agree with. Maybe this can help you out for your future endeavors. Okay, I'll see you later. Enjoy your next adventure.